Hi creative friends, this is Sreya and thank you so much for being here. So I am not going to be working on this particular portrait today. I have been working on it and this is supposed to be a part 4, but I don't know what to do with the background, so I'm just going to leave it aside. And I generally tend to work like this, you guys. Like, I will work on something, I'll put it away, I'll come back to it, and this is a very natural way of me working. Now, sometimes I do work like start to finish, or I'll get obsessed with something, excuse me, and like my healing ancestral trauma art journal, and I just work on it, work on it, work on it, work on it. But even with that, I still find that leaving it aside for a while gives me a whole different perspective. So I really highly recommend that when you don't know what to do, or even when you do know what to do, just putting something away for a short period of time, it can just give you a fresh perspective when you come back. So I'm going to move this aside. I will get back to it. And what I'm going to do today is I did a short where I was just working really fast and I was basically exploring values. So one of the things that I really love to do is I love working like super, super fast, like not even thinking about it. And obviously when I'm recording a short, I'm, focused on recording. Like, I'm focused on what I'm doing, but I am recording it, which is different than the way I normally work, which is I just come in, I put some music on, or I listen to Dr. Clarissa Pinkola Estes or whatever, and I'm just in my little zone, my own little world. And I just work really fast. I might even have like 10 or 12 sheets of paper, and I'm just going like from one to another to another. And there is a value in working really, really fast without particularly thinking about things. And I find this to be especially true when I'm focusing on one specific thing, whatever that might be. So just say you're focusing on composition, just say you're focusing on values like I did over here, or just say you're focusing on line or color or whatever. When you're focusing on one element, it really helps to work fast and in just a very a way where you're not overthinking, because sometimes like you can get into analysis paralysis and you're just like, oh my god, like, should I do this, should I do, and you second guess yourself, and you're just like, I'm interrupting the flow of what just wants to come out. Like, just let it come out however it's going to come out without judgment. That's the important thing. So anyways, what I'm gonna do in this video is I'm gonna push my values. So I did post this as a short if anyone was interested in watching it. And what I mean by push my values is that I'm going to go with the super, super darks and push those darks back. So dark values and cooler colors, they tend to push parts of the painting backwards. They recess into space. And then the lighter, generally warmer tones, colors, whatever, you're pulling them, you're pulling them forward into space. So they tend to kind of come forward out of the page into, the space that's even, out of the page, if that makes any sense. So push, pull, push, pull, push, pull. That's a very helpful kind of line that I can, okay, I'm pushing my dark values, I'm pulling my light values, I'm pushing things back into space, I'm pulling things forward into space. So I'm just gonna kind of push pull my values here. I did not use a lot of colors on purpose, and this is not like a portrait per se. This is like ooh, I don't know, what is this? It's a Strathmore mixed media 98-pound weight of paper, so it's not very heavy at all, but it is mixed media. So this is not like any kind of a finished kind of a portrait. This is like I kind of liken it to you're a musician and you're playing like scales, I believe. I'm not musically inclined, although I do love music. I'm not, I don't know a lot about the whole how do you make music, but I know, like, it's just a practicing the scales, so it's the same thing, as artists. You're just practicing. you can practice in many ways. You can sketch, you can do different exercises, drawing exercises, looking exercises, blind contour, semi-blind contour, etc. So anyways, I'm just going to push my values here, and I'm gonna work kind of fast. I'm not really overthinking anything here. I want to go with blues. I'm just feeling the blues for some reason. And you guys, I am feeling a bit under the weather. So yeah, my voice is a bit scratchy. And just kind of... And so basically, you guys, like, especially at this stage, and when I'm thinking about push-pull, I'm not thinking about a finished product. I'm not thinking about, oh, how is it going to look finished, etc., etc. I'm thinking about how am I organizing the space in terms of push-pull. So what I mean is, like, it's going to be a lot of... okay, I put this blue down, right? And I'm pushing things back, but see how I'm also getting rid of some of the white of the eye? That's totally fine. I'm not going to stress out about it because I'm not focused on that. And a lot of this gets lost when I do a time lapse. Like, yeah, time lapses look cool, but they don't give you much room for explanation. So see how I'm getting rid of some of the whites of the eyes? That's totally cool. Not a problem. Not going to worry about it. Not going to stress out about it. See, I'm not like, okay, that's totally fine. That just adds to the whole dimensionality of the finished portrait. Because when this dries, I'm gonna pull. And then when that dries, I'm gonna push. And then when that dries, I'm gonna pull. Do you see? I can't explain that in a time lapse because it doesn't, it just doesn't... It's a time lapse. So yeah, so time lapses look cool. Now I will say this, when for many years I have posted time lapses on my Instagram, and the comments that I always got, like, just was, people would say, well, yeah, the time lapses look cool, but we can't really see what's going on, which I totally agree with. Like, you can't, time lapses are not meant for explanations, right? And that is true. Yeah, you can't, I can't explain anything in a time lapse. That being said, when I explain it like this, it may not be as exciting and aesthetic and, oh, that's so cool to see a time lapse. This part doesn't have all of that glam, but this is the bones of it. This is the structure of it. And then if you understand this, then the time lapse makes sense. Does that make sense what I'm saying? If I'm not explaining things properly, you guys just please leave me a comment. I do not take offense too much, let me tell you. Now, I don't want to put the blue over here. Like, this is collage, and I'm going to bring it up closer, like under her eye. I really love that kind of weird, wonky kind of collage piece, and I want to retain that. And so, like, use your own face, you guys. Use your own body. So take your hand and run it across your face. So see where, like, your your forehead kind of meets your hairline. Okay, that's going to recess a little bit. Bring it down to your forehead. That is going to protrude a little bit. So that's going to be a pull area. Like, take it and move it under your eyes. Like, I have my finger right now. I'm under my eyes. Okay, that's recessed. That's very recessed. So that's going to help guide you to where to put your cooler, darker values. Okay, so under the chin, under the lip, okay, that's going to be a little bit recessed right there. Okay, and then underneath it, like right over here, that's kind of protrude a little bit. Like over here, that's protruding. Oops, I got some of the blue there. So that's protruding over there. And then, your neck, obviously that's going to recess. So yeah, just use your own face. You've got it, use it. You can even use your hands. Like, if you're drawing, the best thing to do is just, take your hand, put it over here, set the lighting, and draw your hand. Drawing from life is like really super good practice. It develops so many skills all at once, from lighting to perspective to foreshortening to, God, just everything. Lines. Okay. So this doesn't look, it looks kind of wonky a little bit, but that's okay. At this stage, yeah, this is exactly what I want. So anyways, you guys, if you've watched all the way to the end, thank you so much. If you have any questions, comments, or whatever, just leave it. And I did receive a comment where I asked, like, if anyone was interested in me doing a video about, sharing everything I know about how to read a painting, or not how to read a painting. I shouldn't, let me take that back, but how the ways in which we read paintings, maybe. And there's no one right or wrong way, but it's very interesting. At least it is to me. And I did receive a comment where somebody was interested in doing that, so I will work on getting a video together where I share everything I know that I learned in my art history class about, how people read paintings. It's so fascinating to me. Anyways, you guys, if you watched all the way to the end, thank you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.